Hi, I'm Larry Kortkamp, and this is Pointz, the show that introduces you to new and trending business topics, innovative technologies, and the people that are impacting our small business communities. Today, I'm speaking with Bernie Francis. Bernie is a Vietnam-era veteran and the owner and operator of First Class Caregivers.
Create a stronger and more dynamic business. Larry Kortkamp, founding partner at the Kortkamp Group, talks with industry insiders about trending topics moving the needle, or not, for local business today. Here's your host, Larry Kortkamp.
First Class Caregivers is a home health facility system that you employ to help people in their homes.
Well, let's get rid of the word health.
Okay.
But we do everything that the health people, the clinical people, leave behind. So that's help with doctor's orders, light housekeeping, companionship. We do everything but push needles.
Very good. And you said doctor's orders. You know, that suddenly brings to my mind exactly that. Someone says, I release you to your home care as long as you do this. And then they hand them this phone book of things that they have to do. And that's what you provide for them.
Sure. And that list is given to people who sometimes are slowing down intellectually, right? And so a lot of them rebound back into the healthcare system, the hospitals or whatever, because they couldn't remember that long list of things to do.
And Bernie, you are more than qualified to do this type of work. As I understand, you've been involved in this for over 18 years. You were involved with a resort-style retirement community, and that this particular business of yours has actually been in operation for over 13 years.
Well, my board work started 18 years ago. I spent 18 years in the CCRC, Continuing Care Retirement Community lifestyles, very high end, okay, in sit-down dining, indoor pool, all that good stuff. But in year 13, I started my in-home care business with the same thought process that the market lacked a premium service.
I was just going to say the resort-style care facility, is that where you ended up with the first class portion of your name?
Yes, and it's pretty intimidating too. I mean, I wouldn't want to fall below.
I was going to say there's some other things that come with first class, and one thing that impressed me about first class was how you train your facility operators, your employees that are actually going into people's homes.
It's ongoing training, and in this particular time, I mean, it's COVID training and COVID certification. But the Texas Department of Aging and Disability, every other day, they're telling us they're adding things on to that training, and so it's ongoing.
And you mentioned the Department of Texas. Recently, you underwent an audit where they found 0 deficiencies in your operation.
I attribute that to the people who work in my office, in my back office in particular, but yes, they found 0 deficiencies. Now that's like in golf, that's like hitting a hole in one. You know, those inspectors are very fond of finding things wrong. But they weren't able to find one deficiency, and I'm really proud of that.
I, for one, and I'm sure most people do, we assume when we talk about home care, we automatically think about seniors, our moms or dads or people that are of a certain age. But in reality, that's not everything that you do. You actually take care of a wide range of people. Is that correct?
Sure. I mean, we seniors are our sweet spot. But anyone who is recovering from who's coping with a disability or recovering from surgery or whatever it is, we are the company that we're the go-to people for. You can think of us as the care hands for doctor's orders.
Very interesting. So it's not just seniors. You're dealing with a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life.
Sure.
And I think one of the other advantages that I really hadn't given much thought was because this is a service that you provide, they actually have the ability to travel if necessary with your patient. Is that correct?
Sure. One case in point recently, we were able to put our caregivers on a nice cruise ship for about 2 weeks. So, she was, of course, she had to care for the family loved one, but she also enjoyed herself quite a bit.
I can't undervalue what service that you provide, because people are, particularly at this stage in our country, we're getting to see some of the downsides to having a facility care for our loved ones, because we're not actually able to visit them. In certain cases, these facilities are denying visitors to people inside. And sadly for me, on a personal level, that's me. I have my mother is involved in a facility, and due to current virus indications, we're locked out. So that poses other problems for our seniors, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does. The flip side of the COVID coin, of course, is that people can die from loneliness. Okay, they can die from lack of social interaction. And so you can think of us as the assisted living. We're assisted living, but we're one-on-one and we're in the comfort of home. So we are an option. You don't have to put your loved one into a facility for almost the same price. You give us a bedroom, you give us a bath, and we'll give you a first-class caregiver, and we'll give you your lifestyle back.
So you can actually provide around-the-clock care if required or desired by your patient.
Sure.
Or they can go in other levels of care.
Yes. We can be 24/7. We can be 4 hours. We have a 4-hour minimum, 8, 12. As the number of hours goes up, we give you a bigger and bigger discount.
And I was impressed when we say discount. I was also impressed with your company. You're a veteran, and you offer veterans a discount for your service.
Sure.
And you also extend that to first responders as well.
Yes, and teachers.
And even teachers.
Yes.
That's admirable for your company.
Well, I think we all have to step up to the plate at this time, particularly this time in history.
And for those of us in Texas, obviously it's nice you're local. You're based right here out of Addison.
Yes, the business city.
The business city.
Centrally located, easy to get to anywhere.
And again, I want to go back to the people that actually come in my home. So you take it to an extra level as far as training. And currently with COVID, you actually have engaged the assistance of another firm that specializes in actually preparing or disinfecting, or what's the terminology that I'm looking for?
Well, you can pick your terminology, but they sanitize, they kill the virus, okay? And it's a strategic partnership that we went into actually before COVID, but it took on a lot more prominence after COVID struck. But they come in and they sanitize, and then our caregivers are take it from there.
I see this on a personal level for myself. As I said, I see it from my perspective through my mom. And then just this morning, I was talking to a friend of mine. His mother was actually in a facility, a first-class facility, resort-style facility, where they had a lot of amenities and a lot of things to do. But mom was not engaged in that. And even though those things were available to her, she didn't take advantage of that, and she missed her family. So he's doing exactly what we're talking about here. He's actually bringing mom home now from the facility, putting her into, in his case, he has the opportunity to put her into a separate living facility for that. But now they're bringing home care in. And mom's attitude, as you talked about, entirely different.
Oh, yes.
Entirely different. So for me, I see that personally, and I'm sure you have similar stories as to why you got involved in this in the first place.
Sure, and that is a typical story, by the way. But in my case, I have two stories to tell. One is my older brother served time in Vietnam, and when he came home, he was not the same, okay? And he fought alcoholism for many, many years. And he ended up, his last stretch of life, he suffered from dementia. And I was his hands-on caretaker, which was interesting. I mean, it was challenging at times, but it's fun the way he took me back into our childhood. He could remember things in our childhood that I couldn't even remember. And so he sadly passed away. But then I had another friend, a very close friend, and I was his social option, okay, for the last 6 years of his life. So I guess you could call me a natural-born caregiver.
And it's evident that you do care, and at a level that most of us, obviously, we don't take it to the extent that you have, and we applaud you for doing that. And again, I think our generation is aging to the point where we have a lot of seniors, our moms and our dads and brothers and sisters that are reaching that point when they need these additional opportunities available to them. And it's refreshing to have a good quality option available to do so many different things for these individuals, whether they want to just I was talking to another one of your individuals the other day, and they were saying that you even take them on a coffee trip or take them to the doctor or whatever that might happen to be.
We bring them back as close as we can to their lives before they became disabled. That's our goal, to bring you back as close as we can get you to your life before you became incapacitated.
Many of us we have these loved ones close by, but we all have lives too. And those busy lives prevent us sometimes from doing the level of day-to-day involvement in those loved ones of ours. As much as we'd love to, we can't do that. So having the service available to even do that type of in-home service is a godsend for those types of people.
Sure. In my now Zoom networking meetings, one of my slogans is, "We are help with stuff when family care is not enough." And so that says exactly what you're talking about. Adult females, sadly, shoulder 80% of family care. And they do it while trying to keep up their responsibilities for their nuclear family, their husbands and their kids. And in addition to that, many of them are trying to juggle the career. It's
a daunting
madness.
service.
Yeah.
Well, I, for one, am glad that there are businesses such as yours, First Class Caregivers.
Yes, sir.
Bernie Francis. Bernie, I know we've got some information for our viewers on screen, but you obviously have a website that they can contact you at.
Sure.
Talk to any one of your wonderful people on the phone to give them information.
Exactly.
Pricing information, or if they just need to talk about what services are available, please contact Bernie's organization, First Class Caregivers. Thank you for joining us today on Pointz. We look forward to seeing you again.
You've been enjoying Pointz with Larry Kortkamp, brought to you by the Kortkamp Group. To be a guest or request sponsorship information, contact the Kortkamp Group at 972-824-8002 today. Production and programming information requests for the OBBM network should be directed to Offbeat Business Media by calling 214-714-0495 or send your request to info@offbeatbusiness.com. Pointz TV, podcast, and radio show are produced by Offbeat Business Media for the OBBM network. Unauthorized use of logos, audio, video, or reproduction is strictly prohibited.